Happy Mother's Day, everybody. I have got a great video here for you. It was December 2022 when this came out, but this is the first I've seen of it. It is a speech about Trump talking about all the different things he's going to do to fix our First Amendment rights being attacked. I'm talking about our free speech being withered away, being censored, being shadow banned, being canceled, being prosecuted for just saying the wrong thing in the name of democracy, as the Democrats call it. I call it tyranny and socialism myself. But at any rate, there is a concerted effort by the Democrat Party and the mainstream media and all these tech platforms to silence and censor the absolute truth, including things like the laptops. That's just one of the many, many examples. We're living in a two-tier justice system right now that has a lot of authority and ability to go after places like Twitter and change the narrative to create or prevent stories from coming out. Now, this is one of the many plans Trump has to fix the country. Now, if you've ever watched any of Trump's speeches, and I'm sure you have, he usually starts out talking about how great our country was during his term, how far we've fallen with all the details during Joe Biden's term, all the tragedies and crisis we're currently dealing with. And then he goes to, and this is what we're going to have to do to fix it. And he goes on his spiel about that as well. And that's what I want to hear about the most when I listen to Trump speak. I want to hear about his solutions. I want to hear about his policies. I want to hear about what he's going to roll back, how he's going to close the border with a quickness, um, how he's going to go after the Department of Justice and the FBI for not just the way they treated him, but the way they're treating the entire American public. And his policies is what I'm referring to. We absolutely need to hear between now and 2024. Everybody needs to hear more and more about Trump's policies, about how he's going to executive order the things that need to be fixed. He's going to go after the teachers union and this woke cancel culture and the free speech attacks and the weaponization of the government and and all these agencies that refuse to prosecute certain people and the Soros-backed DAs. Said he's going to fire 100 DAs. That's part of his Agenda 47. If you don't know what that is, it's a video I've got several videos back, and it's over here on Donald Trump's channel on YouTube as well. It's called Agenda 47. It's just a list of all the things that he is going to do to try to change the trajectory of our country. Now let's go ahead and get into this. This is Trump's got a big plan, super super huge, uh, inspirational. Uh, hope this works policy to fix this attack on our First Amendment rights, free speech. Let's go ahead and jump into it, folks.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple, just like dominoes, one by one. They'll go down. That's why today I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case because they've taken it away. In recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved corporate news media have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people.
I'm going to continue with it here in just a second, folks, but he's got the list down. He's got the entire list of everybody involved in this whole sinister plan to silence the truth in order to continue with the way things are going down this road of totalitarianism and tyranny.
They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must happen immediately. And here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens. And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship, directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Health, Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are. Second, I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. These include possible violations of federal civil rights law, campaign finance laws, federal election law, securities law, and antitrust laws, the Hatch Act, and a...
Did y'all catch that, folks? Going to prosecute broken election laws, uh, campaign finance laws, which I'm sure a lot of them have got issues with that one, and censorship violations against the American people. He's going to stop it, folks. He's got a plan. Listen to how he breaks down the details of how he can actually go about doing it. Not just talk, folks. He's got a
host of other potential criminal, civil, regulatory, and constitutional offenses. To assist in these efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters, and we have to do this right now, to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship. Third, upon my inauguration as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk revising Section 230 to get big online platforms out of censorship business. From now on, digital platforms should only qualify for immunity protection under Section 230 if they meet high standards of neutrality, transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination.
There it is.
We should require these platforms to increase their efforts to take down unlawful content such as child exploitation and promoting terrorism, while dramatically curtailing their power to arbitrarily restrict lawful speech. Fourth, we need to break up the entire toxic censorship industry that has arisen under the false guise of tackling so-called mis- and disinformation. The federal government should immediately stop funding all nonprofits and academic programs that support this authoritarian project.
You hear that? He's gonna hit them in the wallet, folks. That's how you get to these people. Tell them if you don't play by the rules, we'll just take away your federal funding. Things like that are great ideas, and going after the NGOs as well. That is gold, and that is absolutely necessary. I've said that a many a day. If we don't go after the NGOs who are allowing things like that are promoting things like the open border situation and this, trying to change the gender of our children, all these things are being promoted by our government through NGOs. And if we don't go after the NGOs, it's never going to be fixed. And I'm just glad to see that Trump recognizes.
If any U.S. university is discovered to have engaged in censorship activities or election interferences in the past, such as flagging social media content for removal of blacklisting, those universities should lose federal research dollars and federal student loan support for a period of 5 years and maybe more. We should also enact new laws laying out clear criminal penalties for federal bureaucrats who partner with private entities to do an end run around the Constitution and deprive Americans of their First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights. In other words, deprive them of their vote. And once you lose those elections, and once you lose your borders like we have, you no longer have a country. Furthermore, to confront the problems of major platforms being infiltrated by legions of former deep staters and intelligence officials, there should be a 7-year
This is a good part, folks. This is actually a great idea. This is what you call a buffer. He makes this an executive order. It will be awesome because it will cause a buffer to prevent people in, like, say, the CIA, FBI, these three-lettered agencies, from quitting their job or retiring from their job and going straight into military contracts, lobbyist firms. Um, it's just really puts our country in a bad position for these folks to be becoming lobbyists and things. It really is a compromise for our country because of the information that they were privy to during their term of service. It's kind of like insider trading in so many ways.
Year cooling off period before any employee of the FBI, CIA, NSA, DNI, DHS, or DOD is allowed to take a job at a company possessing vast quantities of U.S. user data. Fifth, the time has finally come for Congress to pass a digital Bill of Rights. This should include a right to digital due process. In other words, government officials should need a court order to take down online content, not send information requests such as the FBI was sending to Twitter. Furthermore, when users of big online platforms have their content or accounts removed, throttled, shadow banned, or otherwise restricted, no matter what name they use, they should have the right to be informed that it's happening, the right to a specific explanation of the reason why, and the right to a timely appeal.
Trump's speaking the truth right here. He has got some great ideas, and if he sets all this into motion on day one, it'll only take so much time, and these media companies and social media platforms will start buckling and changing their ways because they will be forced to in order to continue to be able to do what they do. He can regulate them through FCC. He can tax them. He can stop their funding. He can hit them where it hurts. He really can with his power of the executive branch. No, and doesn't hurt to have the Congress behind him as well. But that'll happen when it happens. Let's go ahead and get back into it and watch the last of it together. Great speech, folks. I'm glad to hear Trump speaking about his policies, how he's going to fix things. And like I said, if you haven't heard that Agenda 47, go find that video. It's down there on my channel several videos back, talking about how he's going to go after the DOJ and the FBI, and if not disband it, he's going to get rid of a lot of folks at the top.
In addition, all users over the age of 18 should have the right to opt out of content moderation and curation entirely and receive an unmanipulated stream of information if they so choose. The fight for free speech is a matter of victory or death for America and for the survival of Western civilization.